I'm like, wow, what the heck? Yeah. It's like, wow. I'm just wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the third episode of My FIDIET podcast. In My FIDIET, we aim to bring sustainable dietary behavior for everyone.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes, so today we are going to share with you about do we eat healthily when we are doing our Europe travel back then in 2022.
Yeah, it's been 2 years already.
Yeah, quite some time already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so basically, just for general context, we actually been through travel in Europe back then in 2022. Literally right after MCO, right? Yeah, when the border almost opened, then we actually choose to have our trip, and it is almost I think one and a half months.
So almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months. Yeah, almost 2 months, and there's a lot of country that we've been through. Yes, so do you when you think back the travel, do you still feel how do you feel about the experience?
I think whenever I think about it, it's like really exciting feeling. Like I can still imagine the feeling of us booking the flight. Yeah, just for the context, we actually went to I think 11 countries in total. We mainly did western side of Europe and a little bit of I think 2 or 3 countries on the eastern side. We basically traveled around for almost 2 months. We've been wanted to do this since uni time. Like we said, oh, we should actually do Europe trip and whatever. And it turned out to be coincidentally like there was like job transition, and then after COVID, I think that time the whole expenses was not really bad. I think like it wasn't really expensive. I think even the flight, I still remember we only paid around 2,600 for a return flight to the UK, which I think
Super cheap.
nowadays it's so hard to actually get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all in all, we just thought of like doing something different for this week episode because maybe sharing our traveling experience could be a little bit exciting for us also to share because it's something that we have been through before. So yeah, I think the main title is
Do we eat healthily while we are traveling in
Do
Europe?
we?
Yeah.
Did we?
We will share more later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it is definitely one of the very wonderful experience. But I think let's start with maybe what do you think is the worst experience back then when we are doing our travel?
When we traveled, right? I think even if the worst, it's still the best. You know what I mean?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, it's like I mean the whole experience was really wonderful. We were still kind of young, Like I mean, we are not that old now.
Still.
Yeah, but still, it was really amazing. We just kind of like 2 years, I think, or less than 2 years, working experience, and then I think not much of commitment and stuff during that time yet,
Yeah.
So I think it was a very good moment. But if we talk about like what was the worst experience for me, I remember when we were in Lauterbrunnen. It was I think part of Switzerland. And then we were buying mineral water.
Oh, okay, I remember. Okay.
Because I think back in Malaysia, we usually see the brand, one of the brand that is quite popular, the Evian.
Evian, yeah.
Evian, right?
Very expensive here.
Yeah, very expensive here. But then if you go to Swiss, it's very, very cheap. I think it's only 3 ringgit, 4 ringgit, I think. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's very cheap.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
Yeah.
So we actually like to buy that more because, I mean, growing up in Asia, we are not used to drinking tap water, right? We usually will have our own filter system, whatever lah.
We have to cook. Yeah.
Exactly. I remember when the time they cook the water with that sound.
Yeah. I mean the kettle. Yes.
Yeah. So I remember we went to like one of the co-op, like that's one of their kind of like
Yeah.
They have it around Switzerland, and then it was like 2 of us at the counter, and then at the back there was like an Asian family. Okay, I don't want to say which country, but it's an Asian family. They were like buying a carton of like mineral water, the Evian, and then we were I think bought just 1 or 2 bottles, and we were just about to pay, and there was like one Swiss person or Swiss guy was like seeing us like paying the
for the water.
the water,
Yeah.
and then And then he said like, why you buy mineral water? Then I'm like, okay, what's wrong?
Yeah,
Please buy
yeah.
mineral water. Do you know that Switzerland has the best or cleanest water and you can just drink from the river? Then I'm like, oh, I see. I mean, I've always known that. It's
Yeah.
just that it's not our thing.
We don't really practice the culture as in
Exactly.
like, you know, even though yes we know
Yeah.
that we can drink from tap water, but
Exactly.
still as in like,
Yeah.
maybe we still have afraid, or as in
For
what
sure.
if we cannot tolerate, we get into the
Exactly.
toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like he was just asking me about that, and I said no, you just want to buy because I don't know how to answer that. I do not want to explain too much that we are from Malaysia, we are used yada yada yada, and he was also kind of like cocky, I would say.
Yes,
Yeah, you
yes.
still remember his face, the way how he looked at us like buying things, and the worst part is that when he was about to leave after he paid his stuff, and then he was like, "Stupid tourist." That's the word that came out.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's like, wow. I'm just wow.
Yes.
Yeah, stupid tourist. I will remember the word until now. And then after that, I don't know what to say.
I mean, after that, after we go out, we were like processing.
Yeah,
Did we just get scolded by a local because
Yeah.
we buy mineral water? And
I know, right?
yeah,
And we were even saying that we are contributing to your economy and everything, yada yada yada. But yeah, that's one of the worst experiences. I think the rest of it, there must be some more as well. But yeah, what about you?
I mean, that is one of the very memorable
Yeah.
yet worst experience throughout
Because
the
it was mainly to me that time, I guess,
Yes.
because I was the one who bought and paid the mineral
Yeah.
water. If I'm not
I was
mistaken.
waiting, I think, in front of the counter. Then I was like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, someone very angry and
Yeah.
says stupid tourist. I was like, what's wrong? What have you done? Like, did you actually argue with him or
Exactly.
whatnot? Yeah. So okay. For me, I think one of the unforgettable worst experience when we were traveling. I think during that time we are in Venice.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in Venice.
It's a beautiful place, right?
Yeah, that place is amazing.
It's amazing, guys. Please go before they sink.
Yeah. And right now they need to pay for the tourist tax already. So make sure, just go, right? So it's basically a small, I would say a small island or canal island, something like that.
I don't know what they call it.
Yeah.
It's not an island, right? It's a man-made.
Technically, yeah. So basically that place, is very beautiful. And what makes the experience unforgettable and worse is actually because we actually booked an accommodation earlier, and then we as us traveling, we're actually bringing like a big luggage.
Suitcase, yeah. We are not a backpacker.
We are not like very big backpacker, right? But we bring our suitcase, and basically that suitcase follow us throughout the whole journey. So, and it is very heavy because we also buy the check-in luggage. So when we reach the accommodation, you remember we found out that there's no lift. Yes.
I remember that place.
Yes.
Now you said that, okay, I can imagine a very old hotel.
Yes.
Because it was summer and then all the places are fully booked, and that was the cheapest and with aircon.
Yes, correct.
Oh, but I still remember. Okay, go on.
But yeah, so it's an old building, but okay, so there's no lift. So we thought of like maybe just level 1. Then we just need to climb the staircase.
Right? Maybe the first floor.
Maybe just the first floor. But eventually, I think it's the third floor, a third or fourth.
Maybe
basically
even,
third floor. Okay, let's put third floor. I guess we climb like quite high, and the staircase, the space is actually very narrow. Yeah, it's so sumpit in a way where imagine us carrying our big luggage with our backpack as well, and then to climb out. Oh, that is I don't know, like literally like after exercise, after go up, even we are on the aircon already, we're still sweating.
Yeah. And the room is like, so it was super small. The room was super small. But I think this only happened to you, right? Because I kept my luggage inside the storage room. Only you brought to.
Because I didn't separate.
Yeah, you didn't separate it. Yeah, that's why I remembered we had to climb the stairs,
but you don't feel the pain.
I think I felt the pain when we were in Zurich.
Okay.
And then we had to climb as well.
That is another story.
Yeah, that's another story.
Yes,
also. Yeah.
correct. So that is the experience that I remember that considered as a worst experience. Yeah.
Now that you said that, I think a lot of memories just came again.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
amazing. So if given a choice
Uh-huh.
to go again this Europe trip, right? Which country that you think we should come back? Okay, maybe before we go deeper, maybe
Yeah.
we bring people to the route that we went.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you can follow this route, you know,
Mm.
because I remember we did the planning, right? Plan A, B, C, D, E, I think until E.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
the end we found, oh, this is the best route. Yeah, so we basically started in London,
Yes.
and then we took the bullet train to Paris.
To Paris. Yeah.
And then from Paris, we took a bus to Amsterdam.
To Brussels first.
Oh, Brussels first.
Yeah, Brussels first. Then
Belgium,
we go-
right?
Belgium, correct.
Yeah, Belgium.
Yeah.
That was also bad because the road is all batu,
Yeah.
right? It's like all bricks. So it was hard for us to bring our luggage.
Luggage, yeah.
And then from Brussels, we took a bus to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, correct.
And then from Amsterdam, we took a train. We took train,
We
right?
train
To Duisburg. It's in Germany.
Germany.
It's a very weird city. I mean, whenever I meet a German friend, they were like,
Why?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then because it was cheap, the accommodation was cheap, and that was the place where we took around 4 days of rest. Yeah.
Rest, yeah.
And then after that, after Duisburg, we go to Zurich.
Yes,
Yeah,
we went to Switzerland.
So we spent around 4 days in Switzerland. We go to Lauterbrunnen, and we went to some of the mountain. And then we had our friends arrive.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to both of you.
Yeah.
And Karin.
Yes.
Well, that was another good experience as well. We hope that one day we can just have a chit chat about
this.
Yeah, about this, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, from Zurich, we went to Munich, I think, by train.
We went to Munich.
And then from Munich, we took another train to Prague.
To
I
Prague,
think,
yeah.
Prague, and then we go from Prague to Vienna, and then
Yes.
and then when we were in Vienna on the day 2, we took a day trip to Budapest. Yeah, so it was another story as well.
Yeah, so many
It's
stories.
a lot
to
of
share.
story. Yeah, if you think that you want to know more and you think this episode is interesting for us to like maybe just do another episode just on our Europe trip, let us know.
Yeah.
And then from Budapest, we go back to Vienna on the same day. And then from Vienna, we flew to
Italy.
Milan.
Yes.
We stayed in Milan. And then that was the time when we separated with the girls. And then Milan, we go to Venice to Rome, go down to Rome, and we flew to
Madrid or Barcelona first.
Barcelona. Amazing.
See his face.
Amazing place.
Yeah.
And then Barcelona, we took a train to Madrid.
Yeah.
And from Madrid, we flew back to London, and London back to Singapore to KL.
Basically it's a circle, you know. Yeah.
So that's where we thought earlier that we actually went to the west part, and then that was like some of the east part, Prague and all, and then we go back to London. Yeah, we didn't manage to do Portugal. That was one of the things that we missed out, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the countries that we went, right? And or maybe including the cities. Which one that you think that is your favorite out of all?
Without hesitation, Switzerland.
I know.
Yeah. So the scenery is just best, and it's just one of a kind experience. So different compared with the whole Europe, but they do have similar scenery in Italy, but we didn't have the chance to explore. But so my answer will be Swiss. How about you?
I think
any hesitation or what?
Initially it was Amsterdam, and then when we went to Italy, because Italy and Spain we spent quite long there. So we went to several cities, right? The rest of them is just like a few days and then just the main city. But for Italy, not Italy in general, because I feel like Italy is a little bit more messy.
Not Milan.
Oh.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
So many stories.
Another story. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's Venice.
Yeah.
You remember when we went out of the train station and the first thing we see is the view. It's amazing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that was it.
So if let's say you are wondering where to go, make sure you put these two country or place into your list.
And I think for Swiss, I once made a post before about our budget, not including the flight. In 4 days, we actually just spent around 2,500, including everything, which I think it's quite reasonable.
Yeah. Exactly. So when we talk about travel, especially us having the background as a dietitian, right? So do you think we actually eat healthily throughout the traveling? Especially, my answer is no. My answer is no.
It depends on the place, right, that we went.
Generally, I think there is only a few days that we eat healthily, I would say, in especially when we cook.
Oh yeah, that was in Duisburg.
Yeah, in Duisburg. But other than that, I don't think it is really healthy.
But how do we define healthy? I think this is a good
Uh-huh.
definition for us to let people know the definition of healthy in
Okay.
your term.
In my term, I think my definition of healthy is that at least the first rule is that we are following the right portion. That means in the meal itself, we have our main source of carbohydrate, we have protein, and we have vegetables, fiber. Like that is the most basic three things on the plate. But yeah,
It's balance, moderation, variety.
variety. Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's the basic
Yes.
that we can say it's a healthy food, right?
It has to be balance, moderation, and variety. Correct.
So what makes our food last time not balanced, you think?
I remember because we are actually on a budget travel, right? So we bought a lot of
Are you
instant
sure it
noodles.
was budget? Like we eat a lot though.
Initially we are very budget.
Yeah, initially we were. Then towards the end.
Yes. That towards the end he said, no, sorry, we must just eat. Yeah. We bought, I think me personally, I bought around 10 packet of
Noodles, right?
noodles,
Yeah.
instant noodles. Yeah, so there are first few days or first half of the trip itself, I rely a lot more on the food. So during that time, when you talk about balance, I don't think it is balanced. And then usually I cook 2 packets because too hungry.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was quite cold that time because before summer, right? I think some of the places were still quite cold.
Correct.
So we get hungry.
Yes. And we walk a lot.
A lot.
Yes.
A lot. 20K per day? 20K
20K
steps?
steps. Yeah.
30 is the most, I think.
There was one day. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
So that is my definition of, I don't think we're actually eating healthy. Yeah.
You're kind of right, but also we tried to make some effort to always I think this is the awareness that we have when we studied dietetics before, even though people say it's useless, I still want to
Again,
I still want to bring that up.
Yeah.
I mean, because we studied that and then we have some circle of people who's aware about this, and we kind of advocate for it. I think that makes us to be more aware towards what we eat and everything. So whenever even when we were there, we still think about, hey, we should actually find vegetables and fruits. We should go to the supermarket and find some whatever fruits or vegetables that we can get, because apparently when you travel, it's a grab and go, right? It's you at some places, example Switzerland, you don't even mention about the price of the food lah.
Same goes to London.
Yeah, London was we just eat kebab, I think.
Yeah.
And then even in Swiss, most of the time we just bought the food from the mart because they have all the pre-pack and everything, and it was quite reasonable. Yeah, because one wrap is already 80 ringgit. I remember that we bought one and it was horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in general we still tried our best to actually find. So that's maybe the way how we make it healthy. But I wanted to point out, can I tell the audience about what happened in Amsterdam, where you buy a certain kind of drinks instead of that kind of drink?
I mean, you can just say.
I don't know. It's just so funny. I think one thing that maybe sometimes we are taking this as when we travel, then we have more freedom towards what we eat. We don't need to think much about the healthy and even the drinks. Yeah, I remembered in Amsterdam, for Shenyi, the beer, the alcohol, is a lot cheaper than the mineral water. So he basically buy a carton of beer instead of mineral water.
Hey, not even one carton.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I buy around, I think 500 ml. I bought 2. So it's 1 liter. Not even 1 carton, 1 liter, but it's a lot already.
Yeah. And I think that was also one of the things that is not healthy, right? When you travel, where maybe that's kind of culture exists as well. When people traveling around, they don't think about the sweet drinks. We even eat some gelato or desserts or whatever food. We don't really think about all that because we felt that we are not going to come here again anytime soon, right? So we have to try everything. So I think that's another kind of mindset where we have a little bit more awareness towards it. But yeah.
Something I want to clarify. I mean, on that part, I almost
you
forget.
feel that, is it?
I'm fine. Yeah, it's just that the driving factor during that time, when I was buying the beer, because it's really cheap, and in Malaysia is because of the taxation, everything is expensive. But when it comes to that time, I think the driving factor, as in, wow, this is so cheap. Let's just drink
How cheap?
€1.
No,
I think €1 to €2. Yeah, it's hard to get in Malaysia.
ringgit. You mean like €1?
Yeah. In Malaysia, at least like 13, something like that. Yeah. So, but that was the only time, because I drink too much, and then I felt like, okay, I have to stop already. So that is awareness that I have, and I feel so bad when sharing this thing. And again, I think another things to highlight as well, when we were in Duisburg, we actually do groceries. Live like a local people there.
Wow, that was amazing time as
And during when we cook, everything we are kind of make it balanced. We have vegetables. We even make a videos before on our Instagram. Yeah, but that is a time where we really be aware. But I have to be honest, at the first part of the journey, because I bought too much instant noodles, so I just
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think food is another factor. Like, also it depends on what kind of travel. I wouldn't say objective, but some people, they travel, they have their thoughts of like, oh, I'm gonna go to Japan and I'm gonna try every single food there because I love Japanese food. So that's the goal of them, going to Japan for food per se, right? Or maybe people want to come to Malaysia, or we go to Penang because we want to eat some good food there. But I think when we were traveling last time, it wasn't about food entirely, right?
Yeah.
It was about making sure that we tick the list, right? And everything.
Yes.
So I think in a way, we eat the food to live, instead of like we live for the food when we were traveling that time, right? Unless it's like a super rare thing to find, like example pasta, right? In Italy, of course, that's where it was like sort of like people romanticize it, that it's like, okay, where Italy is famous with pasta, whatever. Then of course we needed to try it and stuff. So I think it really depends though, like in the situation. But in general, we have the awareness, right?
Yes.
When we travel, about eating healthily. It's just that it really depends on the situation, the budget. And then the people that we are traveling with as well. Like it was only two of us, so it was quite easy, right? And I think that's pretty much about like whether we actually eat healthy when we were traveling. In general, you say no. I feel like
How about you?
I think it's a yes and no, depends on the situation or the location.
Yeah. Did you manage to lose weight, or like after come back? Do you still remember?
I did not remember that, but I don't think
You gain weight, right?
I don't think I gained weight, and I don't think that the trip made me like not eating. Faham tak? It's like
We still eat.
we still eat. I wouldn't say that, oh, travel Europe, cannot eat anything expensive, cannot buy this, cannot buy that. No, I don't think so. We kind of like, whenever we feel like eating, even initially we said that we want to jimat, and then we're like,
Towards the end, yes.
just buy lah, just buy, whatever it is.
For the sake of trying, yes, we did. But of course, still we have certain budget constraints. So not every meal we are having in like a restaurant, or the fancy food. But we still managed to try, and it is still something special. And I still remember some of the dish, right? When I tried there, when I come back to Malaysia, only I realized they do have. Like one of the example is the one that I tried I think in Prague. The pork knuckle. I was like trying that. Okay, it's like, wow, it tastes good. And when I come back, only I realized Malaysia also have restaurants serving that. Yes, but they're serving it in a what we call it, Chinese restaurant now. So
of course lah, takkan.
So when I go there, I was like, oh, okay, this one I tried in Prague. So it brings back the memory, and it brings back the awareness and say, oh, someone actually
It's the same.
did the same cuisine concept here.
All right. I think we will stop now for this episode. We'll continue talking in the upcoming episode.
Sure.
So stay tuned. We will share more about our Europe trip experience, and we kind of like feel excited as well to just bring back the memories.
Yes.
Keep supporting us. See you in the next episode.
You.